What's up guys, I'm MrYeester, your tech tinkerer. Today we're going to put together a Ryzen 7 9800X3D computer build. We're gonna grab the parts from microcenter and then we're gonna head over to microcenter's new studio to assemble it. So come on, let's get started. All right, so we picked up the parts from microcenter and now we are at, well, where are we?
We're in our studio. This is our studio at our home office here in Columbus, Ohio. And we went all out. We cleaned this place up just for you so you can come on by and check it out.
It's pretty cool. It's a lot nicer than my studio at home. So.
Well, the fortunate thing is almost everything in here we sell. So you can buy all of this at microcenter and you can get a look as cool as this.
Nice.
So keep that in mind. So we're gonna build something?
Yeah, we're gonna build a Ryzen 7 9800X3D computer. We used the microcenter step-up bundle for this, so that includes the CPU itself. It also includes the Tomahawk motherboard as well as the 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM.
Right.
So to go along with that, we decided to cram it inside of this Lian Li Lancool Case. Love it, staple. We're gonna stick with AMD Team Red, so we have the RX 7900 XTX. Should be beautiful inside of it. Power supply wise, 1000 watts, Corsair, pretty straightforward. Yeah, should be solid. And then we have an AIO to keep our X3D chip cool.
And we went all Lian Li with the fans too.
We did, stayed on brand. Yeah.
All right, this is gonna be great. Well, let's get set up. I'll take you over to my workbench and I'll kind of walk you through how we build here.
Let's do it.
All right. All right, so we're here at the workbench and let's get started.
Let's do it.
Why don't you tear down, oh, sorry, let me start over.
Okay.
Because we're not tearing anything down, we're building.
Tearing down the boxes.
Yeah, let's just tear down the boxes.
Rip them apart.
All right, there's a lot of boxes to get through, so I'll let you handle the motherboard and all the prep.
All right.
I'll do all the side work over here.
Sounds good. I will get started on the motherboard.
We'll work our way through.
You know, one time I built a computer while wearing oven mitts, so I didn't have fingers. And so ever since that experience, which was surprisingly difficult, if you can imagine, I have a newfound appreciation for fingernails and opening boxes.
Yeah, I can see it.
You know, fingers.
I feel like people would think that the CPU would be the hardest part, but actually I feel like fan headers and those things would actually probably be pretty hard.
Okay, that was near impossible, but surprisingly doable if you used like a magnetic, well, not even magnetic, if you used anything else to support it. So what I did was I used like a screwdriver and forced it like in between two of the wires. So it like, you know, I had my gloves on and then you could just kind of like shove it on. So it like, I don't know, it was fine.
You got to be Mr. Krabs for a day.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
And that's why they don't build PCs at the Krusty Krab.
And that it's underwater.
Well, yeah, that too.
Although I'm convinced you could build a PC underwater and for it to still work, as long as you just didn't turn it on before, you know, it was out of the water, completely dried.
So you do the full build and then just let it sit in rice for like a week.
Yeah, exactly. And then pray. All right. So this is actually the first time I'm getting a look at this Ryzen 7 9800X3D. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this CPU.
So some of our benches, you got a lot of lift. It was, you know, kind of a wide range depending on the game and the settings, but we were literally looking at anywhere from like 5 to 15%.
That's wild.
Over the 7800X3D.
That's crazy.
So
and, I mean, the thing that I've heard almost most impressive of all is the thermals. The fact that it's an X3D chip that seemingly has not suffered from, you know, one of the potential downsides of the L3 cache design, which is, you know, not just making the processor super hot.
yeah, and thermals are kind of crucial, you know. I used to have,
They really are.
On some of my builds, I used to worry about hot chips. Now I feel like efficiency has just gotten so much better.
Yep. Apparently what I've read is for this X3D chip in particular is they moved that L3 cache from on top of the cores to underneath the cores.
Right.
And so now the processor itself has direct contact with the IHS, meaning it can help actually dissipate heat, which is so crucial.
That's a big overhaul.
And speaking of crucial, my goodness, look at that transition. We're going to go ahead and use one of their newer Gen 4 NVMes. So this P310, 2 terabytes.
2
Man,
terabytes, perfect size.
I love how affordable solid state drives have become, especially NVMe. I feel like when I started building computers, it was a long shot to be able to like afford to be able to put in solid state directly into your computer.
And now look at us.
Now look at us. Innovation, baby.
I'm gonna start working on this big case back here real quick.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and plop in this SSD.
I like Lian Li cases a lot.
I do too.
I'm a big fan.
There's a lot to be said about having a case that was designed with building a PC in mind, which sounds like it should be really obvious.
Right.
But there are a lot of, PC cases out there that aren't, like they just are built to, well, I don't know, but
built to exist.
Yeah, when someone has thought about how a PC is going to be built inside the case. And Lian Li is one of those companies that you can tell.
One thing I always like to talk about, if you're gonna build your own PC, do it in a room with a lot of space. You're actually gonna need it, because all the boxes, look how big this is. This takes up some space. So if you're gonna do this in your dorm room, check with your roommate first.
That's right.
There we go.
All right, SSD is in. And now the thing about these, as SSDs are becoming more and more powerful, they're also creating more and more heat, which is something that's, I personally think is interesting, because we start seeing even passive heat sinks become almost like a necessity for SSDs, which really isn't something that you thought about maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Especially with the way Gen 5 is looking too, because Gen 5 SSDs, when those start rolling out more and more,
it's going to get to the point where we're going to have to start actively cooling our SSDs. And, you know how we have a CPU cooler? We're going to need like fans, maybe liquid cooling on our SSDs, which will be very cool, but may complicate the process.
An extra run on your AIO with
exactly
with your SSD there.
I want to see someone do a water-cooled build where they water cool everything except for the essential PC parts. So you only water cool the RAM and the SSD. All right, we're going for the RAM. Again, this is also part of that step-up bundle that comes with the 9800X3D as well as this motherboard.
Oh, good. And you have an I/O plate pre-installed.
We do.
So that's going to make your life easy.
Don't have to remember. Don't have to forget about it, and then in 30 minutes go, oh no. Take it all apart. All right, how are we looking?
Good. I think you're actually kind of ready to just go straight in the case.
I think we're ready for it.
All the posts are pre-installed, everything's there.
Sweet.
I can slide this over to you.
Another thing I love about Lian Li is the fact that I love that they have an extra container for all of the screws.
That's my favorite thing with a lot of these cases. It's those little quality of life things that go a long way.
It really is. Oh, okay.
Oh, that's right, because the cooler.
Yes. So how many PCs would you say you build a week? You seem to be a PC builder, like MicroCenter's core PC builder.
So since we've started the YouTube channel and really kind of ramped it up, we're doing about 2 a month-ish. Okay. But we do want to scale it up and work with more associates, in the stores to kind of feature more builds on the channel.
Yeah.
But MicroCenter as a whole, we build a couple hundred per week in all of our stores combined.
Crazy.
That's a lot of PCs.
That is a lot of PCs.
We're talking custom configurations on the spot.
Yeah, true.
It's one thing to get an assembly line for pre-builds, but this is
yeah,
you can pick whatever you want right off the shelf, and our techs, they'll figure it out. They'll work their way through. I just always love how it becomes a mountain of boxes.
Oh, I know.
Every time I do these, I try to be as organized as possible, but then it just turns into a cascading mess.
It always does. So you were saying this studio just recently finished up, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
How exciting.
It's been under construction technically for, I don't know, 9 months maybe.
Yeah.
But we finally moved in a few months back, and we've been sort of setting it up as we go. Once we moved into the space, it was a little bit bare, and we've been filling it out. So if you watch all of our videos, you'll see over time, it's been changing. And actually, we just remodeled this area recently, just to make it a little bit nicer. And I wanted to set it up in a way where you can look in any direction and you can shoot, right?
I like that.
Just a whole full 360 kind of setup.
Yeah, that's smart.
And our other rooms too, they're actually pretty cool looking.
I'm impressed. Like I said, my at-home studio, starting to get some ideas, you know. Take some inspiration.
So all the lights that we use are from Nanlite. I'm a big fan, and we do sell them in store. They have a bunch of COB lights, which have a Bowens mount, so you can use all of these different softboxes and all of these different attachments, like the lens attachment we have to put the logo on the wall. And I think you remember that from when we put the YeesterPaste logo.
Yeah, that's right.
And
yeah, that was cool. You could like slide in the different cards.
And then we have all the tubes as well, which I love because these are, I think, the best kind of RGB strip that you can use.
Yeah.
These are super powerful.
Nice.
Like it's not like a simple RGB strip that you would buy from like the store or something. Like this is like a really high output.
That's cool.
So they look great.
Same.
All Nanlite, and they all work with the app. So when you walk into the room, we have the app.
Oh, is that what the iPad was for?
You just turn them all on.
Nice.
And yep, you just let it rip, man.
Very cool.
That's what I love about this way we set it up, because you can see we got a camera here, camera there, camera up there. Well, so then when you're building, I mean, you know how it is. When you're building, like, you need 30 different angles.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of having to have one camera and just keep moving it around, it's nice just to have the various angles.
Now, what are you thinking for AIO placement?
Well, it looks like there's already fans in the front here, so I figured we just put it up top.
Cool. Have it just exhaust right out.
Yep.
And I've got fans are already pre-installed.
Oh, that's nice.
I got
really?
the screws,
Oh,
yeah.
Did you install those or what?
No, I didn't. I just pulled it right out the box. It was pre-installed,
Wow,
man.
that's another thing where it's like, honestly, when I think about building PCs, I think there's a lot of this like opening the AIO box sometimes is like, oh man, now I gotta like, I have to do my own like miniature build.
Yep.
In order to get this in my PC.
Especially with the way, because it used to be that each fan would have its own cable. You'd have to mount each one.
Then you have a whole mess in the back to begin with.
Yeah, this is a lot easier.
Okay.
So I've got this guy set for you. Now you're thinking of doing the top?
Yeah, I think the top, I think this comes off too if you want to do that, or
yeah, let's pull it off.
Okay.
Because this is the part where we transition to standing.
That's true. Sorry, I also like being on my feet, so I was standing for a lot of that.
I like doing it more George Lucas style, where I sit as much as possible.
Oh, really? Nice.
Well, I have the advantage of I can.
Yeah, that's true.
I can reach in.
For me, I feel like it's just like a sitting makes me like I feel like I need to like shake my legs or like I don't know, like when you public speak and like sway or walk around.
Right.
It just feels right. I didn't realize that was a George Lucas thing. He does that.
Well, so people always gave George Lucas crap because when he directed the new trilogy, 20 years ago now, he was sitting on a couch the whole time with a monitor, and he would just be like, "Okay, do that again," but and he would never get up.
Never get up. Hey, if it works, it works, you know.
So that part always kind of stuck with me. Just call it George Lucas style. Yeah, I'll sit here.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So.
All right.
Now you want to put.
Yeah, I think having the tube over here is fine.
Okay, cool.
So it's like this way.
It goes like that, so this will go there.
Yep.
I've got screws for you right here.
The other thing with AIOs that I always think about is it's nice to get it in, but then it always also seems to block plugging in the motherboard power supply, or motherboard CPU power from the...
Well, you know what? Okay. I have a little tip that I actually got from one of our service techs.
Oh, yeah?
If you're doing a modular power supply, which it looks like we are, run the motherboard cables first.
So don't plug it into the...
Do CPU power, do motherboard power. Don't even put the power supply in the back yet, but just run the cables first, then you put the AIO in.
Clever.
And that, I mean, it seems obvious, but like that little...
I always plug it into the...
Right?
Like the actual
it seems logical. It's like, put this, and then plug everything in. But...
I like it.
Once you do it this way, because like, especially if you're doing an air cooler too, and you're trying to like really squeeze your way around.
And again, like there's some cases that there's no clearance. Like we have the benefit of using a Lian Li case, so we know there's at least going to be some space for it.
We have room in there. So I'll get these for you. And then what we can do is, all in one go, we'll, when you're done mounting the AIO, we'll just stand this up real quick and just throw the cables in the back.
Gotcha.
And then you can just slide it right in.
I think I'm installing this upside down. Oopsie.
Oh, onto the bracket.
Yeah.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
How many builds have you done where you made it like almost 3/4 the way through?
Oh,
and you
yeah.
realize, oh, I got to start over because I didn't do X, Y, or Z.
More than I'd like to admit. Most recently, it always, for me, it always involves AIO. Sometimes, like, when you do have to install the fans, sometimes I'll just put, you know, like, oops, it's exhaust and it shouldn't be, or oops, it's intake and it shouldn't be. And then you have to take it all apart and reroute the cables and everything.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about a PC. It's fully custom to how you want it, but also...
It's fully custom to how you
Yeah.
live with your consequences.
Yep.
Okay, so that's
Do you need
like
Molex?
that. Hey, you never know. You were talking about using a drill. I think that'd be really fun to use like power tools, like real power tools to build a computer. If you like, say you couldn't use a screwdriver, but you could only use, well, one thing that I really want to do is build a computer with only nails instead of screws.
You're going to nail it together?
Yeah.
Well, you have to do the case then. If you're going to do that, then you have to do the case.
Yeah.
Like 6 pieces of wood.
That's true.
Nail
yeah,
the whole thing
fully
together.
Custom. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, this is nice. So you just plug it in beforehand.
So those are all set and ready for you.
So
I
clever.
mean, if you really wanted to go the extra mile, you could do the case ones, but we could do that later.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm actually gonna stand this up so I can drop it down.
There we go. And what we can do is, I'll pass this through real quick so it's out of the way. Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Nice.
So you don't have to worry about this at all.
Very nice.
And there's a little fan here, so I'll pull that through. Let me just unbuckle this one because...
I do like these magnetic panels on the back of cases. I'll bet you if I was better at cable management, I would like them a lot more. Because when you cram a bunch of cables, the magnets aren't as strong as screws. So it almost like forces you to be better at cable management.
Here, I'll move this one out of your way as well.
That's good. Yep.
There we go. Cool.
All
All right, she's ready to go in.
To drop this in. AIO in here. I believe AMD recommends at least, what, like a 280 millimeter AIO with the 9800X3D. Because, you know, we were talking about how good the thermals are relative to the other X3D chips, but, you know, it still has that L3 cache. It still produces a lot of heat.
Right.
So
You definitely want to dissipate that heat as well as possible.
definitely. All right. Wow, that AIO experience was super nice with it.
There we
With
go.
only just having like a single cable come out of it.
Right.
Lovely.
So that's gonna be super easy. Now wait a minute, I have thermal paste right here, but this is the Lian Li thermal
Yeah,
paste.
let's use some YeesterPaste thermal paste.
Yes, there we go.
Thankfully, I never go too far without just bringing some tubes of thermal paste. So, you think this is enough? Or?
I think that might be enough, I
all
hope.
right. I hope.
How many is that, 4 or 5?
At least 4.
Oh, perfect.
Got to make sure the CPU is cool, you know?
That's good because I was running low on thermal paste too, so.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'll leave some here for the studio. All right, for this, you know, like I said, we've heard some good things about the CPU, so I'm gonna go ahead and preemptively do a little smiley face. Go ahead and instill our own emotions onto the 9800 X3D.
Look at that.
We'll give it a nose too, just so it has even more thermal paste. That looks like a clown. We take it.
But you know what? The performance
That's right.
won't be clowning around.
That's right. What kind of specs do you have in your personal computer at home?
So I have two that I use because I started to do some streaming stuff.
Nice.
My older PC I built in 2020 that has a 10850K.
Nice.
Because at the time the 10900 was like not available, but the 850s were everywhere, and the price was pretty good. So
I
picked
feel
up
like
one of those.
2020 was a wild time for computer parts.
Well, I got insanely lucky.
Did you?
I bought a 2070 Super September of 2020. They announced the 30 series in October, and I bought it through EVGA specifically because they have a step-up program. If there's a new one within 90 days, you send them the old one, and they'll send you a new one.
Clutch timing.
I qualified for it and got a 3070, and it only cost me like, I think, $60 more.
Wow.
And they even covered shipping. That was it.
Nice.
So that's how I got a 3070 like in the early days.
That's crazy.
Because that was hard to get.
It was, yeah. I feel like everything was sold out immediately for all of those.
So I got really lucky with that one. And then now I have 13900K 4080.
Step up from
That's my main.
2020.
Yeah, that's my main
so that's
one.
what you stream off of. Nice.
Well, I have a capture card in my older PC, so that's actually what I use.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, because I stream sometimes of like editing photos or videos.
Yeah.
And so I found that the overhead that you're losing with streaming, like if you have DaVinci Resolve open, it just doesn't like it if you're streaming the image.
Yeah, it's too much to.
So I found it easier. You just have an HDMI out, send it to another PC, and just let that PC deal with everything else.
Yeah, nice.
I must consult.
The manual, the most helpful thing, often ignored.
RTFM. Usually I make it mostly through a build without needing the manuals, but every once in a while,
like I said,
like
for me, it always comes. It's always for me. It's
Yep.
like, do you have a favorite step of the PC building process, or a least favorite step? Maybe more pertinent.
Least favorite step is all the waiting.
Waiting
when you're installing everything. That's my least favorite step.
I just wanted to be done. Oh, like software wise.
Yeah. So we have an image that we have for Windows. So it installs in like literally 3 minutes from a USB key.
Yeah.
And then I have all my Steam games on a backup here that I load from. But it still takes like 20, 30 minutes to get running.
Oh, really?
Which seems like a long time to me.
Yeah, especially when that's like it's bottlenecking you to do something.
All right, I found her. This is the one. See, I knew it was smaller.
Yeah, it was smaller.
Cable management is also kind of the part for me.
Yeah.
You know?
I've seen some of your builds in the studio here. They all look pretty clean. I guess if you know it's going to be staged, like you might.
We go the extra mile on purpose because we definitely want to show our skills, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But then, you always reach that moment when you're building or where you just kind of sit and just sigh and you're like, oh, I just want to go do something else for a minute.
Well, it's funny because like most of the computers that I build are really, especially for my experiments, I really just need them to turn on. You know,
Right.
so like I honestly don't put full builds together in cases all that often. Usually they're like test benches more oriented,
Right,
and then
right.
it's like something weird on top of it. So it's like actually building full computers from start to finish, not something I do all that often.
It's really form and function, right? Two very different things.
Totally.
Which one's?
Where is the power supply?
Oh, I got power supply for you right here. I have screws right over here.
Perfect.
I'm gonna get those going. Now I've got PCIe cables for GPU, but we can worry about that later. If I remember correctly, this is 3 8-pins.
3 8-pins.
So that one's gonna be pretty straightforward.
I'm gonna remove these hard drive bays, assuming we're not gonna. At least one of them.
You don't want a 20 terabyte hard drive in here?
I'll leave one bay. How about that?
So that's the thing for me with PCs is like, yeah, I game. Like I love gaming, but I always skew towards video editing.
Oh yeah, so you like having the extra storage.
I'm like, yeah, I'm one of those guys where it's like, yeah, I need some hard drives with like, 30 terabytes extra.
That's funny.
Because I'm gonna burn through it. There it is.
Nice.
That's what was throwing me off. So this piece we don't need. So that goes to there, that goes to there. I'm gonna try to shimmy these 2 little cables back here. I wish I had a chopstick right now. So, my friends.
Do you use chopsticks to like grab cables?
I poured wooden chopsticks.
Really?
I think that they are the #1 most useful tool that you can have in your home. They're non-conductive.
True.
They're long, they can go in like hard to reach spots. Like I would just put a chopstick in here and pull back the cables that I'm trying to get.
That's funny.
I literally just have a pile of like takeout chopsticks in my little studio at home.
That's hilarious. I'll have to try that out.
And like my friends always think I'm nuts when I'm like, oh yeah, just like, you know, save all those chopsticks.
Give me your chopsticks.
Especially like when you get the good ones, not the ones that break apart, but like the ones that are already separate and sanded down.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I could do so much with that.
That's so funny.
It's the perfect tool.
I have never used chopsticks in a PC build. I feel like I have to try now.
That's how I used to get my GPU out, was because the little latch, I can't reach it.
I just suffer, you know? I just cut my finger and bleed.
Some people would think of like using a screwdriver, but I'm like, if I slip, you know.
That's true, yeah, it's metal.
It doesn't do any damage because it's soft.
True that.
Are you playing any games now?
Yeah, so I've been playing the new Black Ops. I've been, me and my buddies have been playing Zombies.
Ooh.
Which has been very fun because they added, I feel like at this point, Zombies is very well known for their Easter eggs, so they just have kind of leaned into it, and now there's like a bunch of like smaller Easter eggs as well as a big Easter egg, so they're not even Easter eggs anymore, they're just like campaigns within the game, you know?
No, they're just features.
No one's like, they're not surprising anybody now, you know?
Remember you had to like shoot this thing, crouch in this thing, go to this like one place.
But yeah, I've been playing that. Pokemon just came out with their like card trading app.
Ooh.
So I haven't historically been really big into card trading, but one of my friends was into it, so I started opening some packs. And we just opened one at the store. It was fun.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Because microcenter now carries Magic cards.
Yes.
From what I hear.
Oh yes.
Which is
we now have Magic the Gathering cards.
Very cool.
So you can get everything you need in terms of physical and digital gaming.
Yeah. I think that's cool because I think the overlap of people interested in those, you know, it's got to be pretty high.
Yeah. Also, the other thing too is we do have board games as well.
That's cool. I actually don't think I've perused the microcenter board game section.
We got a lot of random stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing about building PCs these days is the amount of stickers on everything.
Oh yeah.
I always miss one somewhere.
Yeah.
Like you get the case closed and you look through the glass and it's like, oh, I missed a sticker on like the audio thing.
The way I think about it though is it's like it gives you a gem for later.
Right.
You know, like when you sell your PC in 20 years, someone will find it and be like, whoa, I get to like peel it.
And then it looks fresh.
Yeah, exactly.
Completely brand new.
Yeah, get off all of the random dust particles.
So you got the case cables. Oh, I see the power cable is just a unified cable too. It's not the individual little connectors. That's always I always like calling that out with cases because that's a real nice quality of life feature.
It is, yeah, it makes it a lot easier. Man, if only I had some chopsticks right now.
See, I told you. They're the ultimate tool. Don't sleep on chopsticks.
I won't. I kind of like your logic.
You know, I think MicroCenter should start selling chopsticks.
I think that'd be sweet, like branded. Like, you know how Razer makes like the most random gaming accessories?
See?
They make those like finger cots that you put over your like thumbs to play mobile games better.
But I use them for Cheetos. That's chopsticks for Cheetos.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the number one.
Gamer.
I like keeping my mouse clean, so like I go above and beyond to make sure I don't get any crud on it.
That's really funny.
Well, I have a G502, so it has all the nooks and crannies, you know?
Oh yeah,
so
they'll just get filled. Start its own eco like environment at some point with all that stuff that gets caught in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Look at that.
All right, we're ready for the GPU. All right, what is this, a 3?
Yeah, this is a 3. I'll let you do the honors.
All right, got a 7900 XTX. Team Red, we're going pure Team Red today, huh?
Oh, did I miss a sticker? Oh no,
no,
it's
just
the covers.
guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
See,
makes it easier to plug in. Oh, no, it's gone forever. All right.
I'll find that in 10 years.
Yeah, exactly. Boom, baby.
Look at that. Plenty of room too.
Yeah, these cases are really nice it's a nice mix between like visual appeal, access to different areas of the case, and just being able to fit really large GPUs, because I feel like GPUs are just getting bigger and bigger.
Yes.
All right.
Look at that.
Now we can just go ahead and plug in our PCIe power.
All right, everything's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna criticize you for
The cables?
The cable, it's running across the RAM. You could have ran it up the, because what you usually do is you could just run it up this top channel here and then have them all go over and around.
Yeah, that's true.
But we're in too deep.
We're too deep now. We're committed. We're committed to function over form.
Jalen always laughs at me, but like, because we have access to everything that we sell at MicroCenter.
Yeah.
But this is the keyboard and mouse that I use for when I'm doing builds.
Oh, dude, I'm the same way. I have an ergonomic mouse from like basically the 90s that I use on all my test benches, and without fail, every time it shows up, people are like, "What is that?"
I mean, it has everything you need. It has buttons.
Yeah, it works. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you know, like the more intense keyboards, like you just know it's gonna work. Bread and butter. You know.
But it also looks like, I mean, if we really wanted to go the extra mile, we could have put fans here.
We could have, yeah. That would be the place to do it.
But frankly, in terms of airflow, like I think you're golden. I think you have everything you need.
It's really nice that this case, again, comes with 4 pre-installed 140 millimeter fans. So like, I'm not worried about keeping this thing cool. How do you handle these cables when it comes to making something look pretty? These ones that have like the extra.
These are actually kind of challenging to like wrangle, right? To like make them look pretty.
Yeah,
Usually we'll use like extenders, like cable extenders, just to sort of like cross that distance between back there and here.
Because otherwise you just have like extra pin or extra, like, you know, these headers just sitting there.
Yeah.
Which if you're like me, I say, hey, works, looks good.
See, we're gonna do it Yeester style. Where
Yeester
we just
style. Because the thing is, if this was something I was building for, say, my channel, this would also end up like, I don't know, inside of a pumpkin or something, you know, like maybe inside of like a turkey.
This is probably one of the more formal builds that you've done in recent history.
It is, yeah. Yeah. We didn't use anything weird as thermal paste, you know? We didn't dump honey in there.
You know, I have some cold brew in the fridge. Maybe we could try that.
There we
It has cold in the name.
There we go. Yeah, it's gotta work.
Should work.
Should be functional. So beautiful.
I love the way it came out. And you know what? I think we should just leave the sticker and the AIO for later. Like you said, that'll be a treat.
Let it collect dust, and then in 20 years, pull it off. You're like, oh my gosh.
It's pristine.
Yeah. Should we see if it turns on?
I'm ready.
All right.
And so I have everything you need. Keyboard and mouse as well. See, that's what I like about having a workbench like this.
Yeah.
And everything just kind of preset.
That is nice.
All right, all you.
All right, time to see if our Ryzen 7 9800X 3D build actually turns on.
Ooh.
That's a good sign.
Look at that.
That's a real good sign.
Oh, I see the posting. There we go. I like this RGB strip.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. Even from underneath there, you can see a little bit of glow.
Yeah, it's got a little bit there. A little bit there.
Yeah.
I hear it whirring.
No.
It's thinking about something. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, there we go.
Hey, yeah, let's go.
We did it.
Nice work.
I want to make sure the monitor was on.
Yeah, sometimes it's always funny when you like turn it on, you're like, oh no, like power supply wasn't on. Oh no, monitor wasn't on.
Like the two easiest things to overlook.
Yeah.
There we go.
And yet somehow, seemingly very common.
Beautiful. Look at that.
Nice.
BIOS right there.
That's the thing about these X3D chips too that we haven't talked about is like the clock speed of them. If you look at historically the other X3D chips, they're pretty underclocked compared to their like non-X3D counterparts.
And you can't overclock the older ones. This one you can overclock.
I think that has a lot to do with it being able to dissipate that heat directly on the CPU, directly on the cores.
Right.
Which is awesome.
And I saw there was an article today, MSI posted, I think they hit like 7 point something gigahertz that they overclocked on this thing.
That's nuts.
Which is like pretty insane.
Nuts.
Cool. Well, looks like everything works. Everything turns on.
It's functional. It might not look the prettiest with the cable management, but
I gotta say, this is definitely a MrYeester style right here with the cable management.
It really is. Like I said, I'm a huge advocate for form over function.
Function over form?
Function over form. I like it when it works, you know?
That's the
Makes me
important
happy.
thing. I know. Actually, this is funny because this is the second 9800X 3D build I've done. Because the other one looks a lot different than this one.
But hey, they both have 9800X 3Ds. Pretty powerful chip. I'm excited to like put this to work.
Well, what do you want to like play on it? What do you want to use it for?
Probably gonna run some Black Ops on it, see how that runs with it.
Cool.
I use a lot of DaVinci Resolve for my editing. I've heard it's buttery smooth.
I've heard there's some good productivity boosts with this as well.
Yeah,
So you're going to see some gains there.
Which is surprising. I'm going to use it for everything. You know?
Yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah.
Are you going to clean up any of the cables?
What you see is what you get. Might even add some more weird stuff to it. You know?
Well, that's the nice thing about building your own PC, though. It really just kind of reflects your personality. You get what you put out into it, right?
Apparently, I have a lot of cross wires in my personality, so that checks out.
Well, make sure you stop by your local microcenter and check out the new 9800X3D, as well as the awesome bundle, like the bundle that we got over here. And check out MrYeester's channel as well. I think he'll be visiting again soon.
I'll be here a lot, so looking forward to it. Thanks for bullying with me. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks.